Hello, this is Chris Callanan with Outcast Sporting Gear, and today we'd like to do a video on how to repair a bladder in the field. We have both vinyl bladders and urethane bladders. With your boat, you should have had a patch kit that comes with it. We don't send glue anymore. We send a type A patch or a type B patch. The patches look like this. They look like just peel and stick stickers. For urethane bladders, we use a type A. For vinyl bladders, which is any fish cat product, we use a type B patch. The great thing about the patches is they both expand and contract with the bladder, so they don't tend to peel off. Glue takes time to dry. These are really fast. Once you've cleaned the area and dried it off, and you can be up and fishing in a few minutes. The most common punctures that we have with bladders typically are thorns on the side of the bank, or a piece of sharp metal. And actually those are the easiest type repair, and you can get them done on the water. Let's pop this tube and put on the patch. What you've done is you've got your basic simple hole in the middle of a bladder. You've identified it. If it's a small pinhole, for me it's always been helpful just to kind of mark it, so in case that I move away from it and I can't see it, I know exactly where it is, so that it's marked. The repair kit for the field, it's pretty simple. You've got the type A, the type B patch for the case of vinyl, type A for urethane, and you've got alcohol pad. So basically we want to make sure you clean the area, particularly if your boat's been in use. This is a new bladder, so it's pretty clean, so I won't have to clean it very much. But make sure you take the time to clean it, because if you don't, eventually, that patch is going to peel off. So I'm going to kind of clean kind of a big area around here. We got some alcohol here. Because this is a new bladder, I'm just going to use the one alcohol pad. We kind of let it dry off a little bit, kind of accelerate the drying by blowing on it. So we're getting there. It's still a little bit damp that I can see. It's a little bit shiny. So we've got the tear aid patch. They're pretty easy to use. You're just going to tear one off. As I'm waiting for it to dry, the patches actually adhere better if you can heat them up. So sometimes we'll tell people it's kind of a two-stage repair. You're going to do a quickie here in the field so that you could get out and go fishing again. Particularly if it's a cold day, this patch may not hold for a long period of time. However, when you get home, you can then take it out again and kind of redo it, and take a heat dryer or a hair dryer and kind of warm up the area so that you're going to get a little bit better bonding into the patch and then the material. The cool thing about these tear aid patches, as I've peeled it off, is they expand and contract with the boat. So I've applied the patch, and then basically I'm going to rub out any bubbles that I see in the patch itself, and I'm going to work outside from the hole. Just kind of keep working it, because this is also heating up the patch a little bit, so that it's going to adhere pretty good, and if I see any bubbles, I'm just going to kind of work them up. I'm heating this patch up as I go. And you can see there just isn't any bubbles in here. We used to include glue with our repair stuff, but we found that the tear aid actually works as good or better than glue. Glue also tends to dry out. So for these bladder repairs, there's really nothing better than the type B tear aid patches for vinyl, and then type A for the urethane. They're easy to do. What I would suggest is they come in kind of an open bag. I would get a ziploc bag and put these patches in a ziploc bag so they don't get wet if you're going to keep them with the tube, or keep them in an area where they're going to stay dry. And I suppose we should have timed it, but this patch is ready to go, and I can reinflate the tube now, and I can show you how well the patch holds in such a quick period of time. So I'm going to replace the valve. Replacing the valve here. I've got it here. Because we're in the air repair center, I have the super duper power pump, so I can get this up and going here pretty quick. And there we go, we've got your basic tear aid field repair. When we're explaining these quick and easy patches over the phone, we always have a lot of perhaps reluctance from the customer that it really works. So we've put one on here pretty quick, so I just want to show you how hard it is actually to pick off. You know, I'm scraping pretty hard with my fingernails right around the edges, and I can get it up, but just on the edges, and this patch has only been on, you know, for the sake of our video here, for about 5 minutes. So that is hard to peel off. The one thing with vinyl is it is kind of, particularly when it's cold, it's brittle. So if you happen to be on a cold, wet, windy day and you need to do a field patch, probably what I would do would be to apply the patch as we've already done it. And then because your tube's gonna be wet, I would then take some duct tape, which I always carry in my kit with me anyways, and I'm gonna throw it over the patch. And that way, if the patch, because it's been cold, it's a little bit stiff, maybe it's damp that you can't get it completely dry, that duct tape over the top is going to keep that patch from moving, or if you haven't got all the bubbles on, it's not going to peel up, so it'll give you a full day. But when you get home, be sure to take that duct tape off, because that glue residue is going to stick, particularly when it gets warm, and then it's going to be harder to clean the area. So for quick and easy repair, tear aid patches are the way to go. If it's cold and nasty out, after you put your tear aid patch, throw some duct tape on there to keep it from perhaps rubbing off or loosening up a little bit. And that's the quick and easy way. This is Chris with Outcast, and you can see us at www.outcastboats.com or call us anytime at 800-966-0976.